Welcome. I'm James Klein, the Fire Marshal for the City of Stockton, and today I'm going to be covering the Safe Operator class for your firework booth. There's 3 sections to this training, and today I'll be covering, as I said, the Safe Operator class. Don't forget to confirm with the completion of your training with your wholesaler. Your Safe Operator cards will be issued at a later date and given to your vendor for distribution. Cards will only be valid for the current year instead of the usual 2 years. Today we're going to cover the classroom administrative portion. There is another section, as I stated, for the fire extinguisher training, and there's another section for the stand inspection. The Safe Operator training is going to be available June 9th, 10th, and 11th. You need to make sure that you take this training during one of those 3 days. It's the only day that's going to be available for you to take online. Fireworks stand operations. We're excited that we're working with groups that we rarely get to interface with.
This is the 18th year.
We're doing the Safe and Sane firework program in the city of Stockton, and we're partnering with nonprofits, wholesalers, and the fire department. The partnerships and responsibilities, we need to make sure that we're following all state laws and regulations and the Stockton Municipal Fire Code. We also need to make sure that everybody working in the booth is 18 years of age or older. We cannot sell fireworks to anybody below the age of 18. And safe operation of firework booth stands needs to be a priority, so everybody working in the booth needs to make sure that everything's operating in a safe manner. Now we're going to cover some information on sales. No sales are allowed until the fire department inspections are complete and violations have been corrected. The sale hours start no sooner than noon on June 28th, and then from June 29th to July 3rd, sale hours are 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sales will end on July 4th at 9 p.m. Stand inspections and opening. All fire safety inspections will be scheduled by appointment. The fire safety inspection appointment scheduled will be completed by fire prevention, and upon completion will be distributed to your respective wholesaler.
Initial inspections will be held on Wednesday, June 24th, and also on Thursday, June 25th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and if required, Friday, June 26th.
The inspection. During the inspection, we'll be looking for several items. Safe operator on site with card. One current safe operator card holder present at the stand at all times of sale and operations. We need to make sure that we have one person at all times at the stand that has a safe operator card. We're going to be looking for no smoking signs properly posted. You have a minimum of 1 sign on each wing and 2 to 3 signs on the front and back of the booth. We're going to be looking for the permits and paperwork on site. 2 fire extinguishers that are a minimum of 2A 10 BC. Also, we're going to be looking for safe fire conditions and exiting from the stand. Any violations noted in your initial inspection must be covered prior to the reinspection. The reinspections may be conducted on the 27th depending on availability of your designated fire inspector. Note,
the first reinspection will be provided as a courtesy. Any reinspections thereafter will be considered a special inspection and will incur a charge of $319 per inspection.
No sales will be allowed until violations are corrected. Your stand must be cleared for operation, and you are in receipt of a temporary fireworks stand inspection form signed by your designated fire inspector. I'm going to cover some safe fireworks stand operator information. You must be 18 years of age or older to work in a stand and sell actual product. You can be younger than 18 and hold signs to bring in advertisement or carry cardboard, but you cannot sell product. You're going to be responsible for all safety issues during the fireworks stand operations, and you must be present at the stand during all hours of sales and operation. You can have helpers 18 years of age or older, must not allow anyone under the age of 18 years old in the stand to handle any of the product. And you must have the means to call 911 at all times. You need to make sure that you have your cell phone charged prior to starting the day so that you have the ability to call 911. And if you have any issues or concerns, please contact Fire Marshal James Klein at 209-937-8271 or 209-990-1436 after hours. I'm going to cover some permits and signages that's needed on your booth. The state fire marshal permit's going to be needed. You're going to have no smoking signs on all sides of your stands, as covered earlier, on the wings and 2 or 3 on the front and back. 18 years of age or older signs. You can only sell fireworks to 18 years and older. You cannot sell any fireworks, even the Safe and Sane fireworks, to anybody below the age of 18 years. You're going to have a map that's going to be given to you by your inspector that needs to be posted on the booth. This shows the county pockets and unincorporated pockets. Maps are going to be provided at the time of the stand inspection. And these maps show where safe and sane fireworks are legal within the city and where they are not legal in the county pockets. And a copy of a temporary stand inspection form should be posted inside the stand in a protective sleeve in a visible location. Fire safety at your fireworks stand. Stand located 25 feet from building and structures. So you can't have your fireworks stand within 25 feet of any buildings or structures. And you need to be 100 feet away from any fueling stations, gas stations, or any location where gasoline or fuel are being dispensed. Stand located 25 feet from dry weeds, vegetation, and combustible materials. So you need to make sure that there's no fields with dry weeds or anything close to your stands or within 25 feet of your stands. And no other structures or tarps can be attached to the stand. So you can't bring an easy up and attach it to the wing of your stand or anywhere around your stand. And no other open flame or open flame devices can be located within 50 feet of your stand, such as matches, lighters, flares, or torches. Vehicles must not be allowed within 20 feet of your stand. It's a safe area. When our inspectors are out there, that's one of the things they're going to check, is to make sure that you have some kind of perimeter established 20 feet away from the stand. You can use cones, you can use tape, or anything of that nature to make sure that you don't allow vehicles within 20 feet of your stand. Clearly identified 20 feet safety area by use of cones, posts, flags, caution tape, or combination of thereof. Some other safety items for your stand: you're going to need 2 extinguishers, a minimum size of 2A 10 BC. The extinguishers need to be fully charged and serviced within 1 year. They need to be mounted in a visible location near each exit or entry, and we recommend that they can be about 3 to 5 feet above the ground. We would also allow them to be in 5-gallon buckets to help with them tipping over. So if you have them in a 5-gallon bucket at the end of each stand, that will also be acceptable. And you need to have 2 exits, need to be unblocked, unobstructed. Doors must easily open and allow for immediate egress, and an unobstructed exit through the stand. The 3 feet wide through the stand needs to be clear of product, packing, trash, and maintained at all times. And we understand that you're going to be moving product, there's going to be plastic and cardboard, but you need to continually move that product 25 feet away from the stand or into a receptacle so we keep that means of egress open. Packing materials and trash and other combustibles must be removed from the stand. During operation, you need to collapse, reduce, and dispose on a regular basis. Keep accumulated packing materials and trash and other combustibles at least 25 feet away from the stand. At closing each night and on the 4th of July by 10 p.m., the stands need to be fully cleaned of all materials, and just the stand should be left. There should be no other materials. Take your fire extinguisher with you and return it each day. There should be nothing at the stands at the end of each night or after 10 p.m. on July 4th. We're going to cover some electricity needs in the fireworks stand. If you need light, you're going to need to get some kind of battery-operated light like you see here. Battery-operated devices only. That's including fans, lights, any type of chargers you're going to need. If you have the little portable chargers that you could charge at home and bring to plug into your phone, that's okay, but you cannot run any 110 generated domestic power into the fireworks stands, and extension cords are prohibited. Generators are prohibited also within 25 feet of the stand. Any devices requiring power to be used are either battery operated or you have to be used away from the stand. Storage methods. There's only one method in which you may store your product that's approved. That's a central storage location that's provided by your wholesaler. So every night when you shut down your booth, you need to take the product to the approved location with your wholesaler. It cannot have any product stored in the stand at night. Unsold stock, litter, and debris must be removed by 10 p.m. on July 4th. Stands must be removed by noon on July 7th. Wholesaler requirements for cleanup will be or have been explained to you during your wholesaler orientation. Remember, report suspicious behavior. Watch your cash handling. Make sure that you keep your money in a safe location and beware of your surroundings. Report illegal firework use and report illegal sales around your stand. Try to get a description of the person or the vehicle. We're not asking you to engage, but that would give us some good information when we're trying to track people down. And if you have any issues, please call the Stockton Police at 209-937-8377. My contact, the Fire Marshal for the City of Stockton, is 209-937-8271, or you can call me at 209-990-1436. If you have any questions, comments, or recommendations, they can be emailed to me, James Klein, the Fire Marshal, at james.klein, at stocktonca.gov. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Mike Bixler with the Stockton Fire Department. Today we're going to learn about the use of fire extinguishers. This is for the fireworks display. So some of the things you need to know, your fire extinguisher that you'll be using will be just like this. This is a 2A 10BC. They're serviced yearly. The service tag should show that it was serviced within a year of the date that it needs to be used. It has a pin on it to protect the handle from going off, and the yellow line here should be in the green. It shows that it's charged. So, fire extinguishers. They're an ABC extinguisher. This is a dry chemical extinguisher. It'll put out common household products, trash, grease, electrical. The A stands for common combustibles like wood, paper, trash, and plastic. The B stands for grease or oil or acetone or gasoline liquid fires. And the C is an electrical fire. When you're fighting an electrical fire, one of the best ways to do that is to just de-energize it. Unplug the item or turn off the circuit breaker, and that should make it a Class A fire. So now we're going to talk about the use of the extinguisher. So in this particular case, I won't be discharging this one, but the acronym that we use is PASS. So PASS stands for pull the pin, aim the extinguisher, squeeze the handle, and sweep across the fire. And we are ready to demonstrate that. What we don't want anyone to do is assume that pass is panic, assume you're going to die, scream and shout. So watch this and we'll show you how to do it. The extinguisher that I have here is actually a water can extinguisher. It's larger than the one that you'll have, but it works in the same principle. So in this case, pull the pin, drop it on the ground, grab the nozzle, aim, then you're going to squeeze and spray. Takes it out. When you spray, you want to spray about 1 foot in front of the combustible item. You'll spray and you'll sweep from left to right or right to left. Don't shoot in the middle. You might spread the fire, and don't be too close to it because you might spread the fire. You're going to be in a fireworks booth. That is a small dimensional lumber and plywood box with about 1,000 pounds of explosives in it. If you have a fire in your booth, you want to immediately evacuate. The use of the extinguisher is to just make sure that you get out safe. So if you actually have a fire in your booth, you want to let everyone know. So don't keep it a secret. You fire and get people to run. You want to dial 911 and make sure everyone gets away. There you go. Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Oliver Topala. I'm a district fire inspector with Stockton Fire Department in the Fire Prevention Bureau. And today we'll be going over the requirements for your fireworks booth inspections. We'll go ahead and start with booth placement. All the fireworks booths need to be at least 25 feet away from any building. If you're in a commercial parking lot, near a gas station, maybe a school or a church, the booth will need to be over 100 feet away from any of those buildings. For the booth itself, you need to have a 20-foot perimeter around the booth, and nothing's allowed to go inside this 20-foot perimeter other than your customers and any volunteers working inside the booth. If you plan on using a generator, those will have to be placed 25 feet away from the fireworks booth. For unloading any of your fireworks, that will also have to be done outside of your tape line. There's no vehicles allowed to park within the 20-foot perimeter. So if you do go to a commercial area, it's best to go early so you can cone off these areas. You can use traffic cones, flagging, caution tape, anything you may need to cordon off this area. On the exterior of your booth, there are a few signs that you need to place. There'll be no smoking signs. Your sign that says nobody under the age of 18 are allowed to work inside the booth, and your map. The City of Stockton map will have any of the county pockets where there are no fireworks allowed, and your fire inspector will bring that map, and those will be placed on the wings. Go ahead and head inside the booth. So inside your fireworks booth, we'll need to maintain a 36-inch aisleway and keep the exits unobstructed. So you have 2 exits on each end of the fireworks booth. Those need to be open in case of emergency. Any of your garbage or anything like that needs to be moved outside the tape line, so outside of your 20-foot perimeter. That way we reduce any of the combustibles inside or near the fireworks booth. You'll be provided with 2 fire extinguishers. These are 2A10BC fire extinguishers. These will be either mounted on each side of the fireworks booth. Over here they had a nail installed so they can be mounted. If you do not have any mount on the wall for your fire extinguisher, you can use a 5-gallon bucket or a milk crate to secure it on the floor. For your extinguisher, you need to make sure that it has an annual service tag from the State Fire Marshal's office. Ensure that your pin and your little zip tie are in place just to prevent any accidental discharge, and that your gauge is in the green. Also inside will be documentation for your nonprofit, tax information, emergency contacts. You should have a 24-hour emergency contact for your work booth itself, and your fireworks wholesaler. You should have one dedicated person as an emergency contact with their phone ready just in case anything happens. As I mentioned earlier, inside your booth, you are not allowed to have any electrical. If you have a generator, it needs to be 25 feet away outside of the tape line. You are not allowed to run extension cords or power strips inside the booth. You are approved to have, battery operated fans, or if you need to charge your phone, you can use a rechargeable power bank. But as far as any electrical inside, it is not allowed. Just to wrap up the documentation, most of the nonprofits will keep a binder containing all the fireworks information. So your safe operator cards, the nonprofit's contact information, their name, your 24-hour emergency contact, the fireworks wholesalers' contact information, sales tax paperwork. When it's ready, you can print out your fire inspector's report and place that in the binder as well.